we're back. My next guest tonight, let's face it, this man is a sports legend. He holds many NBA records, including scoring 100 points in one game, which just boggles the mind. He also just finished this new book, Who's Running the Asylum? It is my pleasure to welcome Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. Let's get him out of here. I'm taller than everybody that comes on this show, then you've just thrown the whole curve off. How tall are you, exactly?
5'11" and a half.
Oh, no, now really, I'm really depressed.
It's a big half. That last half is a big half.
Congratulations on the book coming out, Who's Running the Asylum. You have some, make some pretty interesting statements here. You talk about, in your prime, how you think you would have maybe stacked up against Shaquille O'Neal, or, you know... Well, what do you think would have happened, you versus Shaquille O'Neal today? Because people sometimes lump the two of you together.
Yeah, because we're both terrible foul shooters. But other than that, Shaquille and I is like comparing me with Clark Gable. In this case, I'm Clark Gable and he's me. No, he played.
I thought you were going to be self-effacing for a second, and then
no, nothing like that.
Screw that.
No. He plays an entirely different type of basketball game than I do. He uses his physicality, and he's a big, strong young man, and that works well in today's game. If he was facing me and other guys of my time, not so good. I mean, I'm a guy bench pressing around 600 pounds when I was at my best.
600 pounds?
Yeah, right. So,
I'm at 5'10". That's pretty good. I'll just work on it a little while. I'll be in your league, my friend.
Right. That's why you better be rather nice to me here, you know. And I'm a little surprised because I know you want to talk about a subject that is dear to my heart.
Well, we got to talk about this. Yeah. You made a statement, and his statement's going to follow you around for a while that you that you slept with 20,000 women. You made that statement. Now. And I gotta say, that's the kind of thing that you say, and then people bring it up later on.
Especially
20,000 women.
People like you, right?
Exactly.
Right,
well, it's not just me. Have you seen? There's a clock in Times Square. Take a look at this thing.
Let me see.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
I didn't think that.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah. Listen, I'm
curious. I want to know about my family share. That's the part I'm curious about.
Well, first of all, it was encounters. But, you know, I thought maybe one of the reasons you invited me on the show was to give me an award from the Board of Education. Because whenever people see me now, they go, 20,000. And let's see, he must have started when he was like 15, and he's now maybe 55. So let's see, 20,365 into 20,000, and you know, and then
so you're getting people thinking.
Not only that, I'm teaching them mathematics, which is really the whole story here. You understand?
I don't think that's going to be a word problem for kids. If Wilt Chamberlain is with 10 women on a train headed east.
That's right. There you go. That's right. And when he gets to Missouri.
God.
Right.
All right, but
on the serious side of that, though, you know, just so women don't think me of being really whatever, the number was to make a statement about something, and it was not ever to sort of like belittle the ladies that I've known and make them just another number. In fact, in my book, they were a number, really great-looking numbers they were, you understand? But what I was trying to say in my book...
20,000.
20,000, right.
That's all I'm thinking as you're talking. I'm not hearing any of this.
There's nothing wrong with short romance.
You keep fading out, and the number 20,000 comes in.
There's nothing wrong with short romance, believe me.
Short romance.
As long as it's a happy thing, going on, right, believe me. But the idea was to say that, you know, sex really rules the world. And that, you know, for men who think that having 1,000 different women is really cool, I have found out. But you have to first find out that having one woman 1,000 different times is what's really happening.
Oh. But how'd you...
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah. Now go ahead and
So you had sex 1,000 times with each of the 20,000. That's what I'm thinking now. I'm really impressed now.
It takes stamina. It takes stamina.
All right, well, let's talk about another number, all right? Let's talk about the number 100 points in one game, which I believe was versus the Knicks, 1962.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that right?
It's a long time ago. Right. Yeah, right.
Was there a point 100 points in one game. Was there a point where just the other team, like, left and made sandwiches on the bench? I mean...
Well, I really wish it was. Actually, they were really very embarrassed about the whole thing. And so they were mad at me, you know, and I was just out there trying to have fun.
Did you start to, like, at 85 points, did you start to feel bad a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and the people...
Like, I'll just try and miss this one, 100 points.
And I did that, I know, I did that. And my mother scolded me when I got home. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay.
You know, it was not an easy night.
No,
yeah, because I had a lot of friends on the Knicks.
Let's talk about, well, Michael Jordan. I'm curious, Michael Jordan, say we had a time machine here, and we could send Michael Jordan back to the Civil War. No, that's stupid. What if, that's just my own fantasy,
right,
you know.
Right, okay.
What if we could send Michael Jordan back to playing basketball with you in your prime? All right? How do you think he would do in those days?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you said with me, you know, and not again me. Michael Jordan is one of those rare specimens that could have played at any particular time and is a gifted athlete who is using those gifts in basketball incredibly so. He has been the liaison between something that's not so good and making it great for all the rest. I think that almost every man in the NBA should give him 10% of their checks.
Now, what would his playing style, how would that have translated back then?
Well, his playing style is he's 6'7" and he's like 197 pounds. Coming into what we call our domain, the pivot for us big guys, would not have been very wise of Michael, you know, if he was playing during our time. So we would say, Michael, you know, as long as you do all those fancy things outside of where we are, that's fine. So it wouldn't have been good for Michael. Really? No.
You think he'd have been crushed, is what you're saying?
I don't think. I know he'd been crushed. Right, yeah,
really? He just wouldn't have worked back then?
No, he would have came in there once or twice.
What about the 360-degree whip-around dunk? What would people have thought of that at the time?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that because, you see, the mentality of the fan today is wonderful, and they've learned to accept showbiz. Right. And Michael is the epitome of showbiz, along with that great talent. During my time, if you did a 360, first of all, the opposition would take it as an insult that you would try to do something like that against them. The coach on your own team, if you weren't at least 90,000 points ahead, would bench you. And the fans would look at you like, well, he's the biggest hot dog in the world.
So you're saying Michael Jordan back then would have been on the bench the whole time?
Absolutely, you know, being considered a hot dog. Think about that. And that's the truth.
Really?
But now in Chicago, if he doesn't give you one of those 360s you're talking about, right, even though their team is 90 points ahead, right, they're looking for something spectacular.
The fans will turn on
you. You're right.
Back then it was more about teamwork, working together.
Absolutely.
What's happened to basketball?
Were you a basketball player?
Who, me? Well, I used to like to play basketball, but and I had the height and everything. I lacked what's called coordination. And it's true. And I found out later that you need that. I didn't wear. I was one of those guys who's like, to me, you know, and then, and I'd get it, and I fell a lot. I wept openly sometimes during the game. It was just a messy thing.
Well, that could be a problem. You know you know.
Yeah, but still, I'd have given you a run for your money.
Yeah, I hear it. Okay.
All right, now, we'll talk about a record. So this blew me away, but you're a competitive guy.
I think so.
And you, I didn't know this translates into your personal life. You like to drive cross-country, and some people do. I've driven cross-country a few times. I enjoy it. But you like to do it really fast. Is that the case?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How fast are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about trying to average up in the 130s and go as high as 175, 180 miles an hour. You know, and that's a non-stop drive from like New York.
And this is in a Volkswagen Bug. That's the impressive thing.
Well, I did a commercial for Volkswagen. It's with a little different engine, but you know.
But what are you talking about? How can you go that fast and not be constantly pulled over? What happens?
Well, you have to be clever. You have to use your eyes.
What do you mean clever? You're going 180 miles an hour. Everything's a blur. You're just birds are just piling up on your windshield.
A clever bird, a clever blur.
You like to. This I found kind of interesting, but you have a method for sort of like killing time. Yeah. When you see that you're 6 miles out of Denver and you're on the road going 150 miles an hour, what do you do to try and kill?
I hold my breath and see if I can hold my breath all the way to Denver. You understand? Like if it's 8 or 9 miles away, you know, and so I work, you know, I got to work my way up. But when I start in New York, I can only hold my breath for about like a minute. And by the time I'm halfway across the country, I can get up to almost 5.5 minutes, you know, and holding my breath.
Holding your breath. What I would love to see, I would love to see the policeman who pulls you over. Right. Going 125 miles an hour, pulls you over, walks up, looks into the windshield. It's Wilt Chamberlain there, and he goes, and then passes out. Well, so that's just to amuse yourself.
Well, yeah, it is, and I sure wouldn't advise anyone to do it because it's one of the dumbest things that one could possibly do.
Thanks for adding that. They don't like people out there holding their breath to the point of passing out while they're driving a car 125 miles an hour.
And you definitely can pass out, you understand?
You like to water ski at great speeds.
Yeah, I tried for the quarter-mile water ski speed record at 126 miles an hour it was. You know, and
you can't water ski 125 miles an hour.
Well, I can, and I did. You gotta have big feet, man. You understand? You know, it helps out.
You didn't use skis?
No, I use skis. In fact, I don't even have big feet.
You did 125 miles. I would just love to see the old fisherman now sitting on the dock and.
Right, that's exactly right.
I think that was Wilt Chamberlain going by.
Well, we
incredible.
We used to ski on the Sacramento River in California, and there was a highway right by the river, and the cars would be going 70, 80 miles an hour, and we would just run on past the cars. You know, and then we would slow up and see their expressions on their face because they couldn't believe it either. Okay, well, there's that and plenty more in this book, Who's Running the Asylum? The Insane World of Sports Today. And it was great to meet you, finally. Well, very nice to have you on the program. Can you come back sometime? I'm going to tell you something. I enjoy your program. I really watch it. So I want to say it to you. You are funny. You understand? You are funny. You really are.
Nice of you to say.
Right.
Finally, thank you.
Okay,
Someone who admits they've seen the show.
I've seen the show.
He actually watched the show. All right, Wilt Chamberlain, thank you very much. Mary Chapin Carpenter coming up. We'll be right back.